Hi everybody, thanks for checking out my channel, Stat Ninja. This is only my second video. If you haven't seen my first one, I'd really appreciate it if you'd go back and look at that one. That also involves gun stats. And on this video, what I want to cover is the topic of mass shootings and who's committing the mass shootings and who's committing the most mass shootings and who's committing the least amount of mass shootings. And I see a lot of these arguments on YouTube. I mean, you can't help but see them every once in a while. White people saying that blacks committing the most shootings, and blacks saying the same about whites, and then you have other races commenting that we have nothing to do with it. So what I'm doing is from a point of view where I'm not biased at all. I'm just bringing you the stats, information I have collected from the FBI, motherofjones.com, and various other websites, and I put it all together in Excel, and I just want to give these numbers to you so that you have actual real numbers to base your opinion off of versus getting your information from politicians or student protesters or anyone else for that matter. These are actual stats. This is information that was collected. I just happened to take the time to bring it all together because I get so tired of the argument. So you're going to get the truth on mass shooters today and who commits the most and stuff. So here we go. The first one I'm going to start with is the black people, black race. And if you look at if you research the census, when they classify black people, this is what they have to say: a person having origins in any of the peoples of sub-Saharan Africa, including the Aboriginal Austronesian peoples of Madagascar. And what I have is the total black population of people living in the United States. And as of 2014, we have 40,241,818 black people living in the United States. The number of mass shooters per 1 million blacks, so I did all the math, put that together. So the number of mass shooters per 1 million blacks is 2.75. So you have 2.75 mass shooters for every 1 million blacks. And so I broke that down even more. So for every 362,581 black people, you have one mass shooter. So the total number of fatalities was 232. The total number of victims was 544. Victims include people that just got injured in the shooting. The number of shooters was 111. Number of rifles used, 13. Number of semi-automatic guns used was 48. Number of automatic guns used was 0. Number of shotguns, 5. Number of handguns, 77. And school-related mass shootings were 15. And we do have, and I want to put this disclaimer out before I go any further, there were 88 mass shootings where we have unknown information on. So we don't know the race, we don't know the name of the darn person or anything like that. I would suppose these are people that didn't get caught or whatever. I don't know. That's something I would have to really research more into. But out of the 344 documented mass shootings, 88 of them have unknown information on them. All we had were like the amount of victims and fatalities. So we do have mental health though. History of the mental illness detailed. There were also some unknowns, but let me see here. 68 out of the 111 shooters had no mental illness, or it was unknown if they had mental illness. So 68 were none unknown out of 111 shooters. So the rest of them had mental issues, because that's another topic that's brought up a lot. The mental stability of these shooters, was it known beforehand, vice versa. So what I did, I did this from worst to least. So, black people, I'm sorry, you do have the highest ratio of mass shooters per 1 million versus all the other races in the United States. Now, I haven't done it for the entire world. I don't know how the numbers would change then, but for right now, you guys have the highest amount of mass shooters per 1 million people. So let's go to the next one. Native American people. Okay, what is a Native American person considered to be? A person having indigenous origins in any of the Amerindian peoples of the Americas or the Eskimo Aleut peoples of Arctic North America. The total estimated Native American population is 1,884,407. The number of shooters per 1 million is 1.59. And so for every 628,136 Native American people, you have one mass shooters. The total number of fatalities were 19. Number of shooters were only 3. But their population is substantially lower, less than 2 million. The number of rifles was 0. Number of automatic guns was 0. School-related were 2. So 2/3 of Native American shootings happened in school. Total number of victims, 25. Number of shotguns, 1. Number of handguns, 4. Number of semi-automatic guns, 3. Basically, let me see what the 2. So 2 were none or unknown out of 3 shooters. So 1/3 of all Native American mass shooters from 1966 to 2016 had mental illness. So you don't have a lot to deal with there. I mean, we only had 3 shooters out of, and it's only less than 2 million people. And one special note I do want to make is when it comes to the type of preferred weapon, it's handguns. It's always handguns. It's the highest one for all the mass shootings, no matter what race uses guns. Handguns are the preferred weapon for mass shootings, not militaristic style assault and semi-automatic weapons. So we smashed that narrative. I mean, why the Democrats are trying to ban those weapons is beyond me, especially when they were used less than probably like 700 times out of just from the statistics alone from 2016. We had roughly, I believe it was like 13,000 murders committed by guns, and less than 700 of those were from rifles and shotguns. But that's all shootings. What I'm doing now is just mass shootings. I'll try not to get off track here. So let's go to the next one. Asian people. What is an Asian person considered to be? A person having origins in any of the original peoples of East Asia, Southeast Asia, or South Asia, including the Austronesian Aboriginal peoples of Taiwan, the Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, East Timor, and Indonesia. Persons with origins in any of the original peoples in Central Asia and West and Southwest Asia are classified as white. So, the total Asian population of the U.S. is 16,614,625. The number of shooters per million is 1.14. So, for every 696,520 Asian people, you have one mass shooter. Total number of fatalities, 127. Number of shooters, 19. Number of rifles used, 4. Automatic guns used, 0. School-related were 7. Total number of victims, 178. Number of shotguns, 0. Number of handguns, 19. Number of semi-automatic guns, 18. And the history of mental illness, basically, 12 of the shooters had a history of mental illness out of the 19. So, mental illness is definitely an issue when it comes to mass shootings. That the number is kind of high with all of them. The only number where it wasn't high was with black people. Let's go to the last one here. I'll have to do a little more explanation on this one because this is the white people. And what is a white person considered to be? I want you to keep this in mind as I'm reading this definition. A person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, example, West/Southwest Asia, including Arabs, Assyrians, Jews, Kurds, Persians, and Turks, Central Asia, example, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan, and I don't even know if I pronounced that last one right, and North Africa, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and Egypt. Algeria, I don't even know why. I don't know. It's kind of weird that they have all these, like these Arabs and Algerians and, and stuff all mixed in with white people. But that's what the U.S. Census Bureau does. It has all these. It has Arabs mixed in with the white population count. So it's, I don't know. But these are the numbers we have to work with. So the total white population. Oh, and one thing in this thing I want to mention is totally combined. You don't see the Hispanic population, but when I was doing my research, like none of the mass shootings were classified as, how can I say it, as Hispanic shooters, even though some of the names were of Hispanic descent. So I would have to assume that white and Hispanics are all kind of mixed together. But to be, to be totally fair, instead of using the 246 million number, I just went with the 197 million number. So the total white population is 197,870,516 in the U.S. Now, if I added in Hispanics, it would be up to 246 million. So if you understand what I'm saying, because that would just actually lower the number even more in the favor of the white race here. So the number of shooters per 1 million is 0.77. So it's not even a total full person. So for every 1,298,701 white people, you have one mass shooter. Total number of fatalities, 713. Number of shooters, 153. Number of rifles, 53. Number of automatic guns, 3. School-related were 42. Total number of victims was 1,327. Number of shotguns, 34. Number of handguns, once again, 145. That's the preferred weapon of choice for mass shootings. Number of semi-automatic guns, 118. History of mental illness. There were 55 that were none, like no mental illness or were unknown out of the 143 shooters. So that's it, folks. That's your numbers for for your mass shooters and such. That's all the information I could find. That took a while to do. So what I'll do, if you want a copy of this Excel file I created, because like I did, it has a lot of information in it. I broke it up to black, white, Asian, Native American, and such. But if you need it or whatever, I mean, I'll put my email below. And I mean, to give it away for free, I don't know. I mean, I can't do all this stuff for free. I don't make any money off this YouTube channel. But I'll put the price down below. If you want a copy of this Excel file in an Excel format where you can work with the numbers yourself, I'll put my email address and the price below, so that if you want me to email you a copy of this, because it took me hours and hours and hours to do in several days. So, but thanks for watching my channel. If you liked it, please hit like and subscribe. If you have any other ideas for any kind of other statistics you want to see, there's literally a plethora of options for statistics, and I'm sure there's a lot of stuff people want to know. So if I don't get any suggestions, I'll just come up with another idea. So there's a lot of information to go through. I can't promise like when I'll pump out my next video, because some topics they take only a little bit, and others they take a lot of research to do when you're doing this kind of stuff. So once again, thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe, share, like, hit that notification bell so you know when my next video comes out. And thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.